Hello, I am meteorologist Mike Griffith here for East Coast Weather Association, and we're going to take a look at some of the long-range trends here as far as temperatures go. And it looks like we're going to be having a cool start to March. Nothing really cold or abnormally cold, just a cool start. And that's really all we're looking at here. Right here on the left is the European, and on the right side here is the GFS. And this is valid for the 3rd of March. And it looks like a lot of cold air up here in northern Canada is going to stay locked up there. Both models agree with this situation. Not a whole lot of cold air makes it down to the east coast of the United States, but it does look like there is a little bit of a shift here as far as a ridge on the west coast and giving them a break from the crazy winter they've been having out there. And this ridge will allow some storm systems to be able to push east. Now, since this is not extremely cold, bitter air, I'm just thinking it's just going to be cool and wet here across the East Coast. Nothing really to write home about as far as winter weather threats, especially with the sun angle increasing in March. So it looks like a lot of those storm systems are going to just be plain rain because it's going to be too warm for snow. Let me show you what I'm talking about here as far as anything longer as far as the GEFS is concerned. This is the GEFS spaghetti plot here. This is basically thickness lines, warmer, somewhat warmer, cold, and very cold here. And this is an ensemble, so it's a bunch of different model runs together. So it looks sloppy over here on the right side, but just focus on the left side over here. This is upper air patterns, and also correlates with temperature. Right here is the GEFS, and it's valid for the 3rd of March. This is the cooler air that we're seeing up here trying to spill into the eastern part of the United States here on the 3rd. And then as we take it into the future here, into the 5th, it kind of flattens out. Nothing real crazy as far as cold air here in the East Coast. Now here comes a bubble of cold air, lower than usual heights here across the eastern part of the United States through the beginning of March, which is March 8th here. This is after the 5th. So we're starting to see some more cold air spill into the eastern part of the United States and across the Great Lakes here as we head into March 8th. Again, this is nothing really abnormally cold. We just don't have the cold air here over the northern part of Canada as we head into March. I mean, this is just going to be more than likely just storminess and rain and cooler and wetter than normal conditions. And that is probably it. It does linger around, but it just gives us a trough in the east coast of the United States, and then it kind of just lifts and it kind of goes nowhere. But we will have some blocking here over Greenland, so this could be favorable for some late season cold air outbreaks, and that is definitely possible here. So it could be chillier than usual, at least through the first half of March, but nothing really to write home about. Probably wetter than usual, too, in the form of rain. Wet and chilly and cool is what we're looking for the beginning of March. And I tell you what, that's not really uncommon for March. It is a month of very topsy-turvy weather, and it can come in like a lion and go out like a lamb. And it looks like that's what it's doing right now. Nothing really unusual for March. Just cooler and wetter than normal, nothing crazy. No big Arctic outbreaks or anything like that. We're not seeing it up here. No real cold air to work with at all this year. Meteorologist Mike Griffith for East Coast Weather Association. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.